So one day I was testifying in one of the committees trying to get this whole idea of an archives launched, and I was saying all the code words of the profession, continuing value in terms of the records, and how what an important government function it was, and how it was related to the right to know. And the chair of the committee interrupts me and says, "Well, Gregory, if these records are so important, how come I never use them?" So I fought my initial impulse, which was to say, because you're a mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging troglodyte, and I figured that wouldn't further anything, and I wandered away, and whatever I was promoting at the time died in the committee. But I went home, back to the office, and I thought, that was a sincere question, sincerely asked. If my institution, which I'm apparently, or I'm by law, supposed to be holding their permanently valuable records, and they're not using them, what makes them valuable? And valuable to whom? So I spent much of the rest of my career trying to take the idea of archival records, institutional records with a continuing value, and folding that into the concept of institutional continuing issues. So that we have throughout our history talked about taxation. We throughout our history have talked about education, the environment, the economy, public health, and trying to then find ways to make that information understandable and accessible to those who needed to use it, whether it be a government official, a legislator, or a reporter who were commenting on the current manifestation of that issue. Because each generation had to confront those issues and address them within their own fiscal realities and social expectations. One of the delights of my job, occasionally I would just go and sit in the research room and order boxes and see what's in it. How well does it match the description? What am I going to find in here? To me, it was like a kid in a toy store, because I really had a goal. I wanted to create an archives. I wanted to have an adequate facility for it. But it was that middle ground of saying, okay, how am I going to make this stuff understandable and useful to the institution I serve, was to look at it. And how, because it's my continuing bugaboo as I worry about our ability to conduct public dialogue. So it's when I keep talking about the sense of wonder, it is amazing what the human imagination, the human thought process can do. And as I said before, I think what I like the most about being an archivist is to be a midwife, so that sense of wonder can produce thought and writing. And I'm very happy to have that career.